welcome back to Home Wellness. This is Cherish, and we're continuing in my mini series of talking about products that I use for my MCS life. I have multiple chemical sensitivity. This is May, MCS Awareness Month. For me, multiple chemical sensitivity means that a lot of standard household things contain chemicals and fragrances that make me very sick. And so I use a lot of different things, and there's many roadblocks in my life. And in the last video, I promised that this would be a cleaning products video, and I am working on that video. I have shot a lot of that video, but also I'm not gonna have time to edit that video and put it up in a way that I'm happy with. So today we're just going to do a quick TMI, that time of the month products video, because TMI is that time of the month and I'm thinking about it. This is specifically for menstruation. So if you're a person who menstruates, then this video will hopefully be helpful to you. Obviously, it's a challenging time. I think at that time of the month, my senses tend to go a little haywire, and I am more sensitive to smells than usual, which is unfortunate because my body is also producing more smells as usual. So a big tip is to up your hygiene game. Since I am homebound, I can get a little lazy with how often I shower, but I definitely need to stay on top of that during that time of the month because just everything gets stinkier faster. Everything. And then another thing that I have found is the smells that you make when you menstruate. The smell of menstruation can be a lot, and so that's one big reason why I use a menstrual cup. It's that it contains the smells, so I'm only smelling it like twice a day when I'm emptying my cup and rinsing it and putting it back in. Other than that, like, it's almost like you don't have your period, other than the cramps and all that stuff. So try using a menstrual cup if you haven't already, or a soft disc, whatever works best for you. Excuse me. I find if the fluids don't leave your body, they don't have time to mess with you. And and they're reusable. One of the reasons why I tend to gravitate towards reusable things versus disposable things is if it's reusable, then it's sturdy enough that it can go through whatever process I need to get it through to make sure that it is not still off-gassing, that it's not giving out any smells or any chemicals that would make me sick, that it is as clean as can be before it is in my house and in my body. And recently I've rediscovered just how smelly the disposable products are. Like, we haven't really had them in our house. They're very smelly. Even the ones that are natural and unscented are not really that unscented. So reusable is great. Most of the time I use a cup, and you're going to want to find something that fits your body and feels comfortable in your body. Personally, I have had terrible luck with the Diva cup. I find that the little stem it hurts. I don't think that I don't know. I think there's a steep learning curve to a menstrual cup, and it's not the best for me. I use a Femicycle, which is like a round ball with a ring on it, because it's really soft, and I find it doesn't hurt me, and I find the ring easier to grab onto and pull. And the problem with that is that every once in a while, like, it just doesn't work for my body. My body says no, and that's really frustrating. But in those times, then we use lots of cloth pads. Now, this is huge and so old because I made this when I was pregnant and my child is 9, so it's old. But yeah, this was a mama cloth. This is something I made to be a postpartum pad. So it's very, very big and very absorbent, but I have gotten so many years of use out of this. And this is, you can see, there used to be a flannel layer on it. This is so gross. I can't believe I'm showing the internet. There used to be a flannel layer on that, but it has died. It has disintegrated into the washing machine. But underneath, I have some old towels. Now, I was very, 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 very poor and tired when I made these because I was pregnant, and so I used what we had. So we have like, I think 2 layers of towel and a layer of flannel, and then the backing to sort of keep the fluids in place is just some polar fleece. So this would just sit in your underwear. This does not need to be this big. This is way too big. But as I said before, this was meant to be for postpartum leakage. And it has just stayed in my life for that monthly leakage. But yeah, these, because there's no wings on these, nothing to hold it in place, it's not ideal for if you're leaving the house, or they're not ideal. I prefer having wings on them. Briefly, I tried sewing them into underwear, so I made my own underwear pants, but that made the underwear fall apart faster. So yeah, you can make your own cloth pads. You can find them on Etsy. There's lots of companies that make them now, so it's easy to get a hold of cloth pads. You don't have to make them yourself. If you do, maybe get a pattern, because I didn't know what I was doing and it would be helpful. And it's a lot on your sewing machine, so you want to have a big burly sewing machine to do it. When I made those, I did not. It was a lot. But yeah, recently I made some smaller ones, and this is PUL. This is a diaper lining fabric, which I had from way back when we did cloth diapering. And these have the wings with the snaps. So these are ideal because they snap to your underwear. So when you go to the bathroom and you take your underwear up and down, the pad doesn't fall out into the toilet. Oh no, I just lost my light. Okay, well, sorry about that. Sorry that the lighting changed. I knew I should have charged that. Anyway, yeah, the wings are great because, I mean, not saying that I've had my pads fall into the toilet, but I've had my pads fall into the toilet, and it is just not what you want. Doesn't make you feel like you're winning at life in any way. But if you are like out on the bout, if you're still living in the world, then yeah, you're gonna want cloth pads with wings. You're also gonna want a little wet bag. These are just lined with the PUL. You probably, if PUL bothers you, try lining it with polar fleece. Or I don't know what else, something. You just need something that doesn't let moisture get through, because you're gonna wanna be able to throw this in your handbag or whatever you have and not have it leak odors and liquids all over your other stuff. So you want a lined little bag that you can zip up. And then this can get thrown in the wash too. Obviously, if you have stuff inside, make sure that you empty it and leave the zippers open before you throw it in the wash. But yeah, get yourself a little. This is also from Etsy. Does she have her name on there? Oh yeah. This is from Pampered Shop Cloth on Etsy. I don't know if you can read that. But if you go to their website, if you go to their Etsy shop, I'll try to remember to link it. You can just get a little starter kit. They have little starter kits for periods, and it's pretty cute. What else do I got? Oh yeah, and then like there's smell management and fluid management and pain management, and those are really like, you know, it's really the whole thing about the period and staying on top of the period. So yeah, as far as pain management goes, whatever you take that works for you, take that if it works for you. I used to use, before I got sick, I used to use a hot water bottle, but they have that rubbery smell, and so now I have just a plug-in heating pad. And there was a different cover on it, and I lost it. And also sensory wise, it didn't do it for me. It had lots of scratchy things on it. But yeah, I made my own cover. So that's one tip for things. If the smell bothers you, try just covering it up and seeing if that helps. Sometimes it does, for a little while at least. If you don't have any other way to off-gas it, cover it up. But yeah, I just made this little cover, and it probably should be thicker, but then it gives me a way to have more of them covered and wash them. But yeah, electric heating blanket and heating pads are great because they even make ones that can be washed, where like you just take off the plug and throw it in the wash. So that might be a good way to get something off-gassed quickly so that you can use it. But yeah, I think that's it. Heating pad, cloth pads, menstrual cup. But tune in next week for cleaning products, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Subscribe. Bye.